Great swimming to me, it's a dance. It's an artistic expression. It is a symphony in the water.
If at the end of these 4 years, all we did was make a good wrestler, we failed.
If I made you just a good swimmer, then I messed up.
Wow.
If you take care of the seconds and minutes, the hours and days take care of themselves. The work that you do in the dark, you prepare for the moments in the light.
Olympic athletes, like you've seen the spectrum, your journey with Carmel Swimming that you were the most proud of, what would that be? From South Bend to Evansville and everywhere in between, this is Get In, the show focused on the Hoosier State and the incredible stories happening here today. I'm Nate Spengel, founder of Get Indiana, and I will be your host for today's conversation. Hey everyone, before we get into today's episode, let's talk about an insurance company that I use and believe in, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. As someone who's experienced and shared all that our great state has to offer, I've learned that having an insurance carrier who truly understands Indiana makes all the difference. As a customer myself, I can tell you that I have confidence in my insurance and don't feel like I have to go it alone. What makes Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance special? Since they have offices in every Indiana county, your local agent is only a call or a text away. They know our communities and what makes them unique. They also help you find coverage customized for whatever stage of life you're in. Whether you're just starting out, growing your family, planning for retirement, from auto, renters, home, life, business, and farm, they've got it all. And do yourself a favor and connect with a dedicated Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent near you. Just visit infb.com to get connected to a local agent. Tell them Nate and the team at Get Indiana sent you. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Now let's get into this episode of Get In. Today I'm joined by Chris Plumb, head coach and CEO of Carmel Swim Club. Since 2006, he has been helping build this program into one of the top swim clubs in the nation. He's a former All-American swimmer from IU. Chris has led multiple athletes to Olympic trials and served as a Team USA coach at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. He lives in Carmel with his wife and his two sons. And today we're going to be talking about the legacy that Carmel Swim has made over the last almost 40 years and what brought him from Buffalo, why he chooses to stay in Indiana, and how you build a culture of excellence. We were just talking before air, when you're ranked top 3 in anything in the nation, you have my utmost respect, and I'm really excited to get into how you do it. Chris, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Happy to be here.
Dude, this is awesome. I think for a long time, I think I first started, I didn't know anything about swimming, right? But February was the 39th straight state championship for Carmel girls swimming, and it was the 11th straight for the boys.
Yep.
And anytime I'm like, oh my gosh, like I got to talk to like someone in this. This is crazy cool. And I think it's so interesting that you can do something for almost 40 years. Like that's a dynasty. It's not just like a good team. It's not just like one good coach. Like it definitely is a well-oiled machine that takes a lot of different pieces. Yeah. And I'm excited to dive into the pieces. The first thing we need to set the scene with is Carmel Swim Club, which is an organization with 500 athletes, versus Carmel High School boys and girls swimming, like IHSAA. A lot of parents listen to this, like their kids probably compete, and you guys might be oh yeah, Carmel's at this meet, they're gonna bring, are they gonna bring their A team, their B team, whatever. So take us through how those two different worlds interact with each other.
Yeah, essentially Carmel Swim Club is the feeder program for Carmel High School. We're very fortunate to have the facilities at Carmel High School to have a 50-meter pool. We just built a brand new 50-meter pool,
and that's Olympic size?
Yeah, Olympic size. So 50 meters is the Olympic size. The swim club is a non-for-profit in the community, and I'm the head coach for both the swim club and the high school. So the high school hired me and the swim club hired me at the same time to basically run both organizations.
This was back in 2006?
Yeah.
The club is what age groups?
Yeah, the club is basically anybody from kindergarten to 18. We do have some college swimmers in there and have had a professional swim with us.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Like a professional was like, yeah, I want to be in what's going on here.
Did they graduate he basically was a swimmer that swam for me in high school. He graduated from the University of Texas, and he went pro, and he signed a suit deal, and he came back to swim for us to get ready for the Olympics.
Who is this?
Drew Kibler.
Oh, that's pretty. Because I saw... Who else goes to the University of Texas?
Oh, all the swimmers go to the
really?
University of Texas. Yeah.
Who knew that Texas was a swimming powerhouse?
They are the powerhouse. Everyone would want to go swim for Texas.
No way. That's like the place.
That is the place. Now IU is coming along, so we're getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the swim club is the nonprofit from kindergarten all the way up to 18.
Yep.
A pro. Yeah.
Yep.
And then that is year round.
Year-round,
like going on all the time. It's like this is like a club AAU type thing.
Correct.
But then there's also Carmel High School swimming. How many boys and how many girls do you have come out for Carmel High School swimming?
Yeah, we basically have 60 boys and 60 girls on the swim team, and then we probably had another 15 divers. So our team was comprised, of like 135 athletes. Yeah, it's a lot for a swim. We're probably the biggest in the state, but we actually have the capacity to do that.
Yeah, I mean, how do you manage 100 and let's say 20? Even if it was 60 and 60 swimmers. How do you manage practice with that many kids getting in the pool?
Yeah, you got to have a great coaching staff. You need people to work for you and get on the same page. And we have different groups. We want to match the skill set of the athlete with the practice. So, we have with those groups, we kind of have like the varsity team, so to speak. And
so how many kids are on the varsity team?
Yeah, I would say that's probably 20 boys and 20 girls, give or take.
So top third kind of there.
Yeah, yeah.
But then how many go compete at a meet?
Yeah, I mean, everyone competes at almost all of our meets. When we go away, we divide our squad in half. We have a home meet. Everybody competes. You run JV heats. You make sure everyone has an opportunity to swim in the meet.
Wow. Okay. So top 20 are kind of in that varsity practice. What are the varsity practice times? Like how much? Because I know that swimming is a grind.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the pool a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a lot of work. I mean, we have practice either 2 hours and 30 minutes in the morning or 2 hours and 15, 4 days a week. And then we have practice every afternoon for an hour and 40. And then Saturdays, 3 hours. Yeah, it's a lot.
2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was a strict coach. I do like an hour before school.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're getting 2 hours, almost 3 hours. What time are they getting there?
So we had practice this morning from 6 to 8:30. 45 minutes of that was in the weight room. And
what time does school start?
Starts at 9:05 at Carmel.
Oh, that's nice.
Well,
okay,
late start,
that's nice.
Yeah.
We're like 7:50, I think, at Chittard. So it's like, all right, boys, you're getting here at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
early mornings.
Yeah. Okay, so that's an insane. So 4 days a week, you have 2:45-ish before school and another almost 2 after school.
Yeah.
Are you after school every day of the week?
Yeah, we're after school. I mean, basically we're like an hour. It's an hour and a half in the water in the afternoons.
And then 3 hours every Saturday.
3 hours every Saturday. Yeah.
Wow, that's a grind. Oh my gosh.
It takes what it takes, my man.
It takes what it takes. Okay, has it always been like that? When you got there in 2006, was this something that you had to keep bolting pieces onto, or was the standard and already been established?
We were certainly a good team then. Obviously, when you win state championships, that we were good, but we were not as good on the national level as we are today. So one of the things we had to do is figure out how to do better outside of the pool, like getting stronger, creating better athletes, and being someone who could, jump better, flip turn better, start better, have a greater technique. So we spent a lot more time outside the pool, I would say, at first. And really made it about the quality of volume we were doing rather than just swimming up and down the pool.
So you come in and get what was enticing about this job within Carmel?
I mean, Carmel, I thought to me, had everything you needed to be successful on the national level. It was really good on the state level, but it wasn't that national powerhouse. But I saw all the potential. It had everything you needed. It had all the ingredients of a great cake, but it hadn't been baked the right way yet. And so I saw that as a great opportunity for me. And working there 2 years before I got hired as head coach, I got to see firsthand, we're doing that well, or we're not doing that well. And so the opportunity for me was like, how do we make this better? And each year slowly evolved to create this national powerhouse. And I remember at the time there were 2 great swimmers in the state who swam at the Olympic trials, and those girls kicked our butts at the state meet. And I was like, you know why they're good?
Where are they from?
One was from Lafayette, and one was from Center Grove. And they were both in the Olympic trial final, and our girls, hadn't even been close to that. And I was like, if we want to start winning the meet easily and far and away, we need to be doing what they're doing.
For a long time. I mean, at that point, in 2006, they had probably won in the teens, maybe?
Yeah, we had won 20.
At that point,
in 2000, yeah.
So and it's like, you're gonna come in here and tell we've won 20 state titles in a row, but you could win it based off of you may not have to have the number one swimmers,
right?
You could win it off of we have a lot of good swimmers.
Our depth was incredible. My first year as head coach, we did not win a single event.
You had zero overall individual champions.
Zero individual or relay champions.
But you just had enough like seconds, thirds, fourths
Exactly.
to win by like volume.
Yeah.
Because, like you could have the best swimmer in Lafayette. They're just not going to have 12 like really solid swimmers there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. And you were like, no, we need to be having champions.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to start there. I mean, it doesn't feel, I mean, it feels good to win as a team, but it doesn't feel good not to have anybody. I mean, we had so many close seconds. I mean, it's still painful for me, from that meet. So like those girls, they felt motivated to get to that top level and like just everything that it took to get there.
Like, and when you see a state champion, right? Let's talk about these two. One was from Lafayette. Where was the other one from?
Center Grove. Yeah.
You think about them. At what point in their life did they have to commit to wanting to win an Indiana state title?
I think that happens a lot of time in the sport of swimming, probably like in 7th and 8th grade.
I thought it might have been earlier. It's like if you're not committed by the time you're like 10 years old, like you're not going to be able to do it.
I mean, that's probably a misnomer, and I've seen plenty of people do great things. I mean, there was a young lady, Callie Pash, one of the most decorated swimmers in the state of Indiana. I mean, she played softball all the way till 8th grade. Molly Sweeney's a great swimmer for us now. She was an elite soccer player until 8th grade.
And then by the time they kind of get into high school,
you got to make a choice.
If you want to be elite at this.
Yeah.
And it's like you could probably still be, maybe like you're playing all other sports, like a state placer, maybe, if you're like just a naturally good swimmer. But you're not going to win the whole.
Probably not.
Wow.
No, I'm sure there are.
Someone's there to listen to this and be like,
I'm
going to prove that Carmel guy wrong.
Yeah, and you could, for sure.
So it's not necessarily like, at the time you like first step in the water, you have to be swimming 15 hours a week in a pool or whatever.
No, and I don't want you to. I want you to enjoy other sports. You need to learn how to move your body. I mean, this is an athletic endeavor. And great swimming, to me, it's a dance. It's an artistic expression. And like when you watch someone who's great at anything, the way they flow, the way they move, it's artwork, right? It is a symphony in the water. And I'm sure when you're wrestling, like someone who's great at it, they just move fluidly. And so you have to learn how to move your body in a certain way. And I think sports teaches us that. And then like when you get really good at the end, when you're just focusing on your one sport, hopefully you've had all the foundations of movement to be able to express that to the utmost capacity.
That's really interesting. And it's like fine tweaking little pieces there, but it's like you take the thing you learned from throwing a baseball or whatever into your, I see the relations there.
I mean, like there's 6 fundamental movements. You need to be able to squat, hinge, lunge, and then push, pull, and then brace. Like you have to brace, like plank.
Oh, core. Yeah.
Core, yeah. I mean, you have to be able to do all those things fundamentally well to be great in sport.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we were recording yet when we talked about learning how to swim for Ironman, like which was one of the hardest things I'd ever done as an adult. Like I'm 20, at the time I'm 26, like getting into the pool to like actually swim, like not just like splash around in the water, like actually swim laps. And I'm like, I can't seem to get my hips out of the water. My legs are dangling. And I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, it's hard. Like there's definitely, an art to this dance outside of just like the performance piece, right? Like, I'm sure we could get into like, we're doing X amount of workouts and this type of thing. But a piece of like building a championship dynasty is culture. Building a culture that gets, you talk about 8th grade, it's kind of when they make the choice. 14, 13-year-olds to be like, I'm committed to this because I see that there is a reward on the other side. And it's like, swimming's a lot like, no one, like, there's no guys getting in the pool like, yeah, I'm doing this for the ladies. Yeah. Like, there's no Friday night lights at a swim meet, right? Similar to a wrestling match. Yeah. So it's like, you're not doing this for external glory. I'd love to learn about what the culture looked like in 2006 and how you built and developed and molded this culture of championship mentality at Carmel.
It's really the standards that you set, for me as a coach, and the standards that are set for the program. Everybody thinks they hold themselves to high standards until you go see someone else holding themselves to a higher standard. So each and every year, my goal was to evolve the program and continually raise the standards year after year after year. And this idea of CANI, like the constant and never-ending improvement. And you're just always trying to learn, get better. I mean, I took notes. I paid attention. I went around to any great swim program in the country, and I was on their pool deck for multiple days. What is this person doing well? And how can I learn to bring that back?
Was it most of the influence coming from swim programs?
Not just swim programs. I mean, like, I'm a huge sports advocate. I love sports. I'm a football guy. I mean, I love baseball, hockey. So, like, if there's someone out there doing something well, I want to know why and how they're doing it so well. I mean, watching Tony Hawk learn how to do his, I think it was 900, whatever ridiculous skateboard, like his process and how he got there and how many times he had to fall. Like, if you're great at something, I am paying attention and I love to hear how you got there. So if there's a doc on it, I'm watching it.
When anyone's successful at something for a long time, like Carmel Swimming has been successful even before you got there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like 20 state championships in a row is success.
Yeah.
But being able to come in and say, like, we have to continue to get better. A lot of times people can, like, rest on their trophy case and be like, well, we've done that. Like, and it's like, you know what works, but it's like next year we have to bolt something new on.
Yeah.
Or strip something, like maybe we didn't like that.
Right.
And it's this constant evolution. I think that's really fascinating. Do you have a few, like, specific examples? Maybe there's coaches that see this and are like, oh, I want to learn from the coaching legend of, like, ways that you've built good culture at Carmel.
It's all about relationships. So first, you got to have great relationships with your parents and your team. Communicate. This is what we're going to do. This is why we're going to do it. And this is how we're going to do it. And we're going to constantly learn. So just being upfront with your people and developing relationships. I mean, like, if you're going to ask somebody to come to practice that much, they better know that you care about them as a person and care about them, their holistic development, not just being an athlete, but being a better person and the values that we get to teach.
What's the value that you communicate to parents? Like, hey, Mom, Dad, you have a freshman. They want to swim at Carmel. This is going to be worth it because of what?
Because who they're going to become along the way. Like, you're going to learn how to show up on time. You're going to learn how to communicate with adults. You're going to learn how to be a great teammate. You're going to learn the value of hard work. And, like, the more work you put in, the more you get out of it. And honestly, today, if you can get kids away from their phones for hours at a day, that's a win. That's a huge win, right?
Where did you notice that change? Like, where did you really feel like that is like the thing?
The phone?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the whole TikTok, I mean, it just... When kids stop filming themselves when they walk on pool deck doing their dance, I'm like, what is going on here?
And it's like fun, and it's like a part of the culture that you've had to adapt with for sure. It's like I was a 2015 high school grad, and I'm like, we liked our phones, but it's also like I can't tell if I'm just like biased because I'm like old now. Like, oh, like back in my day, we didn't dance on camera, and now I'm like filming everything that I do because that's just the way the world works, I suppose. And I always wonder, like, we have that not issue, but it's something that we keep in mind. Like, hey, don't bring your phone in the room. Like, we don't need it right now. Like, leave it out there and just disconnect for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, kids, let's talk to each other, right? Like, you know, when you go out to, you know, a team dinner and every kid's on their phone instead of talking to each other, like, this is a problem.
And I don't want to be like the curmudgeon-y old coach that's like, put your phone on. But it's like, back in my day, we used to have conversations with each other. But they aren't having conversations. They're just like DMing it to each other.
Yeah, they're basically talking about you, the coach, with texting each other, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that piece of culture of, like, you buy into their whole person.
Yep.
And you have these rules, or not rules, but like lessons that have nothing to do with, like, we're going to get your kids' 100-meter time down. It's like they're going to learn hard work. They're going to learn timeliness, communicating, like all these life skills.
We shake their hands every day after practice. Why? So they can look me in the eye, they can have a handshake, and they have to talk. They have to talk to adults. In high school, you don't appreciate how important of a skill it is to talk to somebody and having that relationship. But once you've done it, all the kids, when they come back, they go, thank you for teaching me that. I went to my college coach and I knew I could have that relationship. Like we talked about Drew Kibler earlier. He went to Texas and he would shake his coach's hand. He's like a legendary coach, Eddie Reese. He went to shake his coach's hand every day after practice. And at first, everyone was like, what is this guy doing? Who is this freshman on this team? You know, we're winning NCAA championships. And when he left there, every kid was shaking coach's hand after practice. I'm like, how cool is that? That like he reshaped that culture. And that's a matter of respect, right? When the athlete comes to you and shakes your hand and you shake their hand, it's like, hey, I respect you, you respect me. We're going to leave this practice here and we're going to come back tomorrow. And if it was good, great. If it wasn't, no, we're going to leave it here. And we have that relationship.
And yeah, even if they're angry, pissed off, like tough day. Those are obviously some of the best times to do it.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like, after you put them through like the freaking meat grinder and they have to come look at you like, yeah, thanks, coach. I appreciate you. Do you have advice, like specific advice? Let's say there are coaches out there, whether it's, let's say like when things really become competitive. Like we're not talking peewee, like second grade T-ball here. We're talking like, I feel like middle school-ish time, things, people want to win. They're keeping score. Do you have advice for coaches out there on how they can build a culture that's going to help develop more than just star athletes?
I mean, to me, it's all about the process. I mean, you hear that over and over again, but it is so true. If you take care of the seconds and minutes, the hours and days take care of themselves.
Yeah. Have you read Chop Wood, Carry Water?
Yes.
Right? Where it's like, you want to be the best samurai or whatever, you have to chop wood, carry water.
Yep.
And it like always comes back to that.
Find
piece.
enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and it is so true because at the Olympic trials to the first meet as your 10-year-old, essentially you're going to get nervous. You're going to start doubting yourself. You're not sure you're going to be able to swim or compete at the way you want to compete. And like, what is the one thing? What is the things I can do in this moment right now that I believe in, that I know can center myself so I can go be at my best, right? If you're up there worrying about, if you're at the plate, you don't worry about hitting the home run. You worry about putting the best swing on the ball that you can, right? If you're behind the block and you're nervous, what are the 3 things I can do in this race? And whatever my time is, that's what it is. But if I can step there with confidence and trusting the things that I know that got me here, that's a win. And so trying to teach that over and over and over again. And like, I can read about a sunset, but until I go see a sunset and experience it, you don't know. You can read about how to do this well, but until you experience your heart fluttering and looking around and there's 2 Olympic gold medalists next to you and like, what do I do now? Until you go through it, you don't know it. So you've got to actually go experience it and then learn, oh, that's where I was not good. That was not in a good headspace then. And then just trial and error at that point.
The process, like always getting, especially in sports where, it's not like you're doing this for the glitz and the glamour, right? Like, I don't know how many people come to a Carmel swim meet on a Saturday morning, but I'm assuming it's similar to like a wrestling super duel, right? Yeah. And it's like, you have to just know this process and like, you're still getting nervous. You're up there competing. You're doing all these things, but it's like, you have just fallen so in love with the act of working hard that like, you're going to put together the best effort.
Yeah.
I think that's really good advice.
You are preparing for big moments. So like you're in that work and you're in the high school dual meet, but I mean, Indianapolis did a great job at the Olympic trials. There were 20,000 people at Lucas Oil.
Was that the coolest swim meet ever?
It was the coolest swim meet ever. And like, our swimmer, Aaron Shackell, won the 400 free. He was the first Olympian of the meet. And so to watch, the state of Indiana get behind one of their own and cheer him on to victory and hit, like the outpouring of emotion and the cheering, like, I understand that there's
Where were you at during that?
I was standing right on the finish across from the stand. So like there's a coach's kind of viewing point. And like, there were 3 Carmel coaches there and we just like, one of my other coaches had a water bottle and he squeezed it so hard and it just burst open water on everybody. Like when he won. So it was just an incredible moment. So to me, the work that you do in the dark, you prepare for the moments in the light. And that's true in anything that you're doing, whether you're trying to create a business, you're trying to do great in sport, you're getting a presentation, you've got to do the work when no one's watching. So when the lights do come on, you're ready.
Well, how long have you known the Shackles?
The Shackles came here 3 years ago.
3 years ago? Okay. Yep. How old is Aaron a freshman?
He's 21 years old. He's sophomore.
Sophomore?
Yep.
At UT?
UT did not quite work out the way we expected, so he actually came home and he's swimming with us again. So.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so he's like in sophomore 20 range.
Yep.
And Alex is a senior
in high school,
about to graduate.
Yep.
And they both end up, everyone knows, I feel like knows the story, like both become Olympians.
Yep.
For you as a coach, over the 3-4 years you've known them, like, did you know from the beginning, like, wow, they're built different? Like, they're just like prepared for this? Or is it like, did you see this evolution?
It's kind of crazy because when they came here, Aaron was not this great swimmer. He wasn't even sure if he was going to make our high school team as a sophomore. And Alex was like this young, I would say, very talented, kind of like just energetic, a top swimmer, but not the top swimmer. and her age. So they were on two totally different paths. So for Aaron to make it, it was like, where did this guy come from? And
Like,
Alex
what
was
were
more,
their high school up until, so we're going to get us pre the trials.
Yeah.
What were the high school accolades of Aaron and what were the high school accolades of Alex to that point?
Yeah, well, Aaron in his senior year actually broke the national high school record in the 200 free his senior year. But
You didn't think he was going to make, he didn't think he was going to make the team?
as a sophomore, I told him, I was like, listen, bud, your times aren't fast enough to make our team yet. So he changed it. I mean, it was
You're going to need some more time in the dark before you get to the light.
that's right, buddy. You got work to do. And that's a true story. And his dad will confirm that. You know, Alex, she made it after her junior year. So she had won, 11 out of 12 state championships, lost the 50 free, got second. I shouldn't say lose, got second in the 50.
You're the first. I love that. But that's the mentality you guys have.
Right,
It's like
yeah.
winning. Like success is winning, that's what, and it's like I love picking up those little things where it's like that's the standard. Like after 20 years, well, plus another 20 years, 40 years, the standard isn't placing, the standard is winning.
I mean, like everyone's on their own path, right? I hate that win or lose mentality because it's what did you learn, and I think she probably learned more in the time she didn't win from the opportunities she did win.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Alex she made the 2023 Worlds team.
2023 World. Okay.
yeah,
So before the year before the Olympic cycle.
Yeah, she
How
got
did she do
fifth
that?
in the 200 free as a meet at IU Natatorium.
Was that for an age group or is that like just open?
No, that is the world team
So this would be after her sophomore year.
after her sophomore year.
After her sophomore year.
Yeah,
She is the fifth fastest swimmer at the 200 free in the world.
in the United States.
In the United States.
Yeah.
Does that qualify her to go to the?
Yeah, so they took top 6 in the relay events. Yeah.
Okay, so she was the fifth fastest in the nation. This is like grown women.
Yeah, I mean, she was on a relay with Katie Ledecky, right? So,
That's insane.
yeah, it's a great story though, because she thought her best event, her best chance of making the worlds was the 200 butterfly, and she ended up getting like 5th or 6th in that, so she doesn't make the team. And then the next morning, she swims the 200 free. I mean, she dropped like 4 seconds, and after she swam, she goes, Chris, everyone just told me, hey, I got next year, I can make it, but they didn't know that I could swim fast in the 200 free and make this team. I mean, like, that's who she is, right? Like, I didn't do any of that. That's all her saying, okay, I might not have made it my best event, but I'm still making this team.
And she looks at you and says that, and you're like,
yeah. I'm like, hey, let's go.
Let's go. Like some people, do you think that that's built? Like, do you think people just have that drive internally, or is it something you can develop?
A lot of that is in with her, but you have to create a place where you give that permission to come out and express itself.
I don't know if you could just train someone to be that competitive, to want to win that bad, but I think that you can like put all the process in to get better and win stuff and do well. But like that almost like Jordan mentality,
Right.
like the Kobe mentality, like these the elite of the elite of the elite. I don't know. Like I think you can nurture that and bring it out, but I think at some point they either like are just like stone cold killers or like you're just really good at your thing. I don't know. That might be my perspective.
Yeah, I would agree. I think nurturing it out of them and learning, you have to teach them how to use it at the right place at the right time in those moments. And like I mean, Jordan has said many times, he's like, I've missed many shots in my career, but that's why I'm successful. Like, because he's willing to step up and take that shot when it mattered, where other people are like, no, give that ball to somebody else.
I mean, so she comes back before her junior year, just being, at Worlds.
Yep.
And then it's like Olympic. When did the conversation, I mean, was it always a conversation of like, we're getting, like the Olympic trials that's the destination we're going to?
Basically, right after she was done swimming at Worlds, I mean, we were over in Japan. And like, all right.
You're going along with all this? Like you're just like,
yeah, I got selected to be a coach for that trip. So I was on that trip. And that was a huge moment for me, being on an international trip with the best coaches in the country and then being at a meet with the best swimmers in the world are at. And I'm like, holy cow, this is where I've always wanted to be. And
like if you walk into a pool deck, like anywhere in the country, like people are like, oh, that's that Carmel guy. Like they know you.
Yeah, I would hope so at this point.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They know like Carmel Swimming has a national and now an international brand. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. So you're in Japan.
Yep.
And how do like worlds and everything go?
So basically in the morning, there's 6 people. They put 4 on a relay, and they basically end up taking 2 from that relay to put them out at night. And she swims fast enough in the morning to make the final relay. She gets a silver medal. She swam a great relay.
She has a silver world medal.
Silver world medal, yeah.
As a sophomore in high school.
As a sophomore in high school. Yeah. I mean, it's...
you were just like, you fly home, you're like, this is silly. This is crazy. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great moment. And that was the first international medal for Carmel swimming as far as I know. So it was a great moment for our sport and our community.
Okay. And then fast forward, she wins 11 out of 12 junior year of events.
Yeah, she won 4 out of 4 that year.
Or 4 out of 4, sorry.
Yeah.
11 out of 12 in her high school career.
Yeah.
Because you can only do 4.
4, yeah.
I got you. So she goes 4 for 4 at state.
Yep.
But it's like, that's February. That's the warm up for what's coming to Indianapolis with Olympic swim trial.
Yeah, and so, I mean, she does that, but most times you taper and rest athletes for that meet. She swims right through it. She's did doubles all that week. She's in the weight room. I mean, so most times,
she wins 4 state. You're like, because that is like the pinnacle for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like she's hitting doubles. Like, and she wins all 4 events.
Yep.
But it's like this. That was like a good training day. Like we got our medals, yada yada yada. But it's like, because when was that? In June.
So that was in February, and then the trials are in June.
So she's like, that's the destination.
We had that conversation way in advance. You have to prepare. Because like you get to the end, you're like, oh, well, I better rest or I better taper. And you're like, no, this is what we talked about before. We're not going to do that. You got to keep whatever your primary objective is in mind. And you can't sacrifice the short term for the long term. And so we knew all along that was the meet.
Wow. Okay. So she continues training, getting ready to go.
Yep.
Swim. I mean, how cool is it that it was right here in Indianapolis?
I mean, that's the great thing is the amateur sports capital of the world. Lived up to its hype, selling out Lucas Oil, and having a swimming pool in a football stadium, like crazy.
That was the largest swim meet in the world,
largest swim meet in the world
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
that was sick. It was so cool. I was down there. I think I was down there. Was Aaron day one?
Day one, yeah.
I think I was there for that one, which was cool because I mean, anytime you see anyone that was like, because IU is a swim club, I think.
Yep.
And anytime I saw anyone that had ties to Indiana or like from Carmel, which there were a lot. Like there's some pretty cool swimming happening in the Hoosier State. I was pumped.
Yeah, I think Indiana had the most Olympian swimmers in the U.S. than any other state in the country.
How many of them came through at some point Carmel Swim Club?
Just 3.
Okay. Just 3.
I know.
Okay, so that moment, preparedness, like what are you saying to Alex and Aaron, like as they're getting ready to go compete for a place in the Olympics?
I mean, it's just what we talked about earlier. Handle the moment in front of you. Do what got you here. Trust the process. And there's some tough moments in there. I mean, Aaron made the 400 free, and they're like, we're trying to make the relay for the 4x2. He was so wiped out from making the team. He was just, I mean, he ended up getting 8th. So, I mean, like, that was a tough moment for him. Top 6 make the team in the relay. He got 8th, so he didn't get the opportunity to swim that relay at the Olympics. So I know going into this year, he's got a different frame of mind, and he'll be much more in tune with how to balance his energy throughout the entire meet rather than just, after you make the Olympic team, I can't imagine his outpouring of emotion. You got to do media. He was in media till like 1 a.m. and he had to swim the next day at like 9. So like they're just exhausted.
And it's kind of like you get out of your rhythm a little bit when you talk about like chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
It's like chop wood, carry water, do media till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think that was in the book.
No, you don't. And that I mean, I did not know that. I mean, that's things I had to learn as a coach to help prepare for.
I mean, you've like. I don't like that. Those are your first Olympians?
I had actually Jake Mitchell in 2021 make the Olympic team. That was my first Olympian then. Yeah.
So you've had 3.
Yeah, 4 total.
4. Who's the other one?
Drew Kibler.
Oh yeah, this was like early days.
Yeah, Drew made it 21 and 24. Yeah.
Oh, 21. Okay, so all recently then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So 4 Olympians come through, and that's like you talk about the standard.
Yeah.
The standard, like. And I think sometimes coaches can get caught into like this team of destiny, right? Where it's like we're going to put it all together in 1 year. And this is going to be the team. It's like, this was a vision that started in 2006.
Yeah.
And now here it is 15 years later after that, like an Olympian. Did either of those guys grow up like right here in central Indiana?
Yeah. So Jake and Drew grew up
Yeah.
in central Indiana.
So Jake and Drew probably got into the pool for the first time right around 2000. I don't know if they were like little kids by then, you know? And
Yeah, I mean, it's probably in the mid 2000s. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like coming full circle where it's like they went through 20 years of Carmel swimming to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Hey, Indiana, if you're a business owner with big plans, listen up. Whether you're expanding, renovating, or breaking ground on something brand new, you need a banking team that's ready to back your vision. That's where my friends on the Elements Financial Commercial Banking team come in. These folks are based right here in Indy, and they're known for something rare. They look for reasons to make things work, not excuses to say no. That's the kind of mindset that moves Indiana forward. They've got tools to help you build, grow, and thrive. We're talking commercial loans for real estate, construction and equipment, business checking, savings and certificates, treasury management and credit card processing, lines of credit to keep things moving. So if you're ready for better banking built around your goals, head to elements.org/getinbiz. That's elements.org/getinbiz. Elements Financial, like a bank, only better. Federally insured by NCUA and Equal Housing Lender. Now let's get back into the episode.
Yeah, it's a great feeling for them and to represent this state in the swimming. The rich history of swimming for them was huge, and to be a part of their process and watching them grow up. I remember watching Jake at 13, 14. We were doing this relay, and we were so far behind, and he just caught this kid and ran him down in the last 50, and I'm like, that kid's got something. Like just what we were talking about. That kid has something special, and how do we cultivate that for him to make the Olympic team?
How many kids go through Carmel High School swimming and don't make the varsity, like the ones? Like, how many kids do you take to like put into sectional?
Yeah, there's only like 14 or 15. That is the unique part of Carmel swimming. You know, only the top get to go, but everyone's a part of it. And we like to say, you know, one team, and it's a lot.
Like, how do you get? So this is interesting,
Yeah.
and I'm actually very curious. How do you get a high school kid to buy into mornings, nights, weekends, and like they don't even? That doesn't say they don't
Right.
even get, but they're not going to compete. Like there's already minimal personal glory. There is no personal glory because you don't get to get in the pool for sectional.
Right.
If your goal is winning a state title, obviously you have other kids whose goals are far superior. But like the average high school kid wants to win state.
In our sport, time matters. So if you can improve your time, I always say your best time is your own world record. How do you beat your own world record, right? And that's how you can measure success.
Yeah, I guess that is the interesting piece about swimming. It's like if you're on, let's say, like a dynasty football program and you don't play, you can't really tell if you're getting better or not. But you have a standard. Like, do you have kids that don't swim in sectionals that go on to swim in college?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. And you got time to develop. Maybe your freshman, sophomore year, you don't make it, but can you work your way to making it way on the team by the time you're a junior or senior?
Oh, man.
That happens all the
like,
time.
Put it in perspective for us this past year. When you think you're taking, how many total events are there in swimming?
Yeah, so there's 11 swimming events with 3 relays and 8 individual events.
8 individual events, 3 relays.
Yep.
How many gold medals did Carmel take for boys and for girls?
On the girls, we won 4 individual and 3 relays.
So 7 out of the 11. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then the boys, I think we won 3 individual and 3 relays.
50% of the gold medals.
There you go. I guess
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's hard because there's some great swimming in Indiana. I mean, like the teams around us, Fisher's a great team, Cedar Grove, Zionsville, the teams up north, Penn.
Do you feel that though when they look at you and they're like, everyone,
we're hated.
No one likes Carmel swimming.
No.
No offense, right?
No.
Like but it's all from a place of like aspiration.
Right.
Like they want to build this. They want to be Swim City, USA. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
and no one's actively booing us, but Reggie Jackson, the great baseball player from the Yankees, says they don't boo nobodies. And so when Carmel wins, like everyone's like, hey, good job. And when someone else wins, like, I mean, the place erupts. So,
Yeah,
you know.
like that feeling. Let's say it's like nowhere, small, tiny. Like Triton High School is where I went to. Triton High School swimming. They don't even have a swim team. So this was perfect. If it's like a Carmel kid and a Triton kid, and the Triton kid like just noses out in front, like The place goes
The place goes crazy. I mean, it does. I mean, there's no question about it. It's a sign of respect. So I have to play up into that. And like we always say, ABC, anybody but Carmel.
Well, I love that. They don't boo nobodies.
They don't boo nobodies, right? You take it as like, it is a sign of respect. And like, I grew up a Bills fan. Do I hate the Patriots? Yes. But do I respect them? Yes, I really do. I mean, I want to learn from what they're doing. So,
which is, it's crazy how competitive high school sports, like I love it. I just get so, like, I mean, wrestling's a winter sport and I just get so ingrained into everything. And it's like, oh, I get fired up about it. But then I think the coolest piece of the whole thing, right? Yes, you want to obviously win state championships, win medals, all stuff, but is the development. Like when you meet someone at 13, 14 years old as a freshman, and when they leave your program, whether they leave it as an Olympian, literally people are leaving high school as Olympians. Alex, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, and I say crazy in like the best way, crazy. Or they're leaving as like a never made the actual varsity team, but like are a different person who got a lot better at swimming and gained this real world experience and lessons. Like I think that the character development of kids is amazing.
That's way more important than the actual winning is who they become along the way. And what skills were you able to learn? You know, some of these people have a fear of competing and maybe they've competed for the first time. I do think high school sports in general, teaches you how to manage time, how to create relationships. These things that ultimately lead to success down the road. Certainly grades are important. School is important. But also learning to put in hard work, to do things that you don't think you could do, to make sure you have being a good teammate. All those things to me allow you to be a successful human down the road. And that is what the importance of putting your children in sports, that is just, to me, I mean, obviously I'm a huge proponent of sport, but it's because you become a better person along the way.
Yeah. And I always look all of our parents in the eyes and I say, if at the end of these 4 years, all we did was make a good wrestler, we failed.
We failed. Yeah. If I made you just a good swimmer, then I messed up.
Yeah. If at the end, like the thing is we're saying like, oh, X amount of seconds off a time or whatever, like, no. And those are the best feedback to get too, is like this, like being the first one in the, like, I actually want to dive in. Like, is there like a kid or two that is doing something like it's not necessarily swimming in the pool. Obviously Olympians, like we're gonna finish out that piece too. But like, are there any kids that have come through Carmel Swimming that are just doing crazy cool stuff because of the lessons and they've come back and talk to you about it?
I get to see it now come full circle. And now I'm coaching the kids I coach, their children, which is just a wild experience. But getting their PhD from Harvard in chemistry, right? I mean, that's I couldn't imagine those types of things. The lawyers that are coming through, the doctors, the business, starting their businesses. They're just grateful for the time and the relationships that we have. And I love seeing them going on and doing those things in the world.
We have to give one special shout out. She would be mad if I didn't. We have to shout out Mary Woods.
Yeah.
So, DePaul grad, 2015. She was in our friend group and she ended up becoming like one of, if not the youngest Division I swimming coach in the nation at SLU.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Mary was one of those swimmers who started out as a freshman, not on that sectional team, and worked her way up through the program to being a high school finalist and then going on to swim for DePaul. And like, if you would have told me that she would go to be a swim coach at St. Louis, I'd be like, her, really? But I mean, she found it. And I saw her and her dad, because they were volunteering at the Olympic trials. So she was so happy to see me. I have this picture with her when she was in high school and with another coach. And we took that same picture with her and the other coach at trials. So just to have those moments with those athletes is just special.
Yeah, it's cool. And building it all starts from the time of like the suffering, like in the pool in the morning, like yada, yada, like all that stuff to then like, oh, it opens doors that you probably didn't think about. Like when we were graduating from DePaul, I don't know if like that was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like a D1 swim coach, right? Like that's what I want to go do. Super cool. We'll round it out. Talk about, was there pressure maybe as Alex started her senior year? with two Olympic medals?
2 Olympic medals,
With
yeah.
2 Olympic medals coming back into high school. And how do you as a coach, like a healthy amount of pressure is good, but also like a 17, 18-year-old kid, it's like every time you get in the pool, everyone's like,
Yeah.
that's the Olympian, that's the Olympian. Like, how do you do that?
I mean, I think she's handled it extremely well in terms of, understanding what the eyes are on her. I mean, she goes to a swim meet now and everyone wants to take a picture with her. I mean, like before, you go to swim meet, people are like, whatever. And like, you go to a high school swim meet and like, there's Alex Shackell over there. But, having your
Like she walks on the pool deck and everyone's like I imagine they like hush.
Yeah, it's happening. But, I think she's just kind of grown used to it and just become a part of who she is. And it just becomes, you don't want to say it's normal, right? But she's done a great job to me of just handling that. It's mounting again. Now, can you be a success again? I mean, that's the real challenge. Like you've done it once and people aren't going to be like, hey.
And what's the next goal?
World championship trials here in Indy, the first weekend in June.
Let's go
at IU Natatorium. So we want to make more events. We want to get some medals at the meet.
I was going to say, like, if that's for her, and you also there's another event coming that Carmel, you are hosting, the World Aquatics Swimming World Cup or something like that.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. That's something that Carmel's hosting, a leg of it, right?
Yeah. So the World Cup it's 3 meets in 3 different cities in October, and the world's best swimmers compete against each other. And Carmel High School is hosting the very first leg of that the first week in October, which is an incredible experience for us and just a great kudos to the city, to the high school for building this great natatorium that can host the world's best meet. And it's going to be on TV.
What type of people should we expect to be swimming there? Like our Olympic team?
I would expect many of our Olympic athletes to be at the meet. So the person who won the most medals the last Olympics in swimming was named Leon Marchand from France. Broke Michael Phelps's world records in the 400 IM at that meet. He will be swimming in that meet. Summer McIntosh, who broke several world records and Olympic gold medalist, she'll be at that meet. Reagan Smith, who's an Olympic, I think she's multiple gold, multiple silver medals. She'll be at that meet.
What does that mean for your program? Like you're bringing in, like I'm just like envisioning this, and it's like, oh man, that's like Peyton Manning coming to play football there,
right? Yeah, it'd be like, hey, Peyton Manning's going to go throw some passes to you or something, right?
Like competing in or like is like on staff at like like they're just being in the environment, like at your like high school. That's crazy.
Well, I think to me, there's so much power in seeing it firsthand. And you kind of realize, well, they're just human. Like you grow up thinking they're superheroes and they're just people just like you and me. I think it speaks to the city of Carmel and to me, the state really, because I think the whole state had this, we want to be the amateur sports capital of the world and building the natatorium and the track. Just that idea to me has spread to the sports now throughout the state. And for Carmel to kind of be one of the leaders in the swimming pool and building, we're one of the first high schools to build the 50. And now we have a new 50-meter pool. So to have that and to get that confirmation that, we're on the right track because the world's best are coming to Carmel, which is just nuts when you say it out loud.
And the fun part is with all the pools and the aquatic center up there, it's not just for the pros.
Right.
You also do a lot for young youth, getting people in the pool. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like that is the great part about swimming. It is a lifelong sport, and it is a sport that you should learn how to do. Number one, for your own safety. I mean, drowning is one of the leading causes of death in children. So if you do not learn how to swim as a child, you're essentially you're risking your life in some ways. Those
videos on Instagram where they just like toss like a little kid in fully clothed and they get their head above. I'm like, that kid's like 2 years old.
You can learn how to swim at an extremely young age, and you need to. It is a life-saving skill. And I don't even care if swimming is not for you, but to learn that life-saving skill is just vital. And so at the Carmel Swim Academy, which is a pool we own and run in Carmel, we teach swimming lessons at a young age. It's warm water. It's an inviting environment. And just learning how to swim, to me, is just so important. And having that life skill. And it's a great, to me, aerobic exercise too. So it is that great balance you can learn at a young age.
Yeah, and I would say so. Like that starts throughout the summer. Is that all year round? You can send your kids to.
It's year round.
At what age does it start?
We start as young as like 2.
You have 2-year-olds.
We do have I mean, basically you have like parent-child.
Yeah.
Like bring your child into the water and get their face in and all that stuff. So yeah.
Wow, that's just wild. And then you guys run that. Does it pick up in the summer? Like people do.
It's year round. But obviously when school's out, we have lessons that are all day.
Yeah.
But it's just nonstop.
And there's an interesting piece of that I think we looked up. You can quote me if I'm wrong. But like you also want to make that accessible for all income levels and skill,
yes,
right?
we do offer free swim lessons to anybody who are on free or reduced lunch. It's great because no one knows. Like we don't tell anybody. If you just apply, you're just part of the regular program. We were so passionate about that and being able to teach all people that valuable life skill. And our free swim lesson program is just something, to me, one of the things I'm most proud of that we do.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, who are the type of people that have pools at their house? It's like it's not the free and reduced lunch for the majority of it. Yeah. So it's like maybe you go to the pool with your family once a summer or like once a month during the summer. And it doesn't become like accessible and you don't have the like, and then you probably don't get the lessons and then you end up being an adult. And you're an adult and you don't know how to swim. And you're like, let's do Ironman, right? So I think that is impactful of the accessibility because you do need the pool. Like you can't just, like I couldn't just go out in my neighborhood and
it's not like going to run, right? Yeah, you need a facility for this to happen.
Yeah, I think that's super, super cool and that makes a huge impact. Are there other ways that I know it's a whole nonprofit, like is there other ways that you guys are making an impact in the community?
Offer adult lessons too, I mean, we were teaching adults how to swim.
Sign me up.
You need to get over there, Nate.
Yeah.
Help you with that Ironman. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge part of what we're doing. Again, I think just learning how to swim and the stories, again, it's just like, here's something I'm comfortable at, even at maybe people at 45, 50, but I want to learn how to do it. So and we're teaching that.
Youth swim lessons at 2 years old to Olympic athletes. Like you've seen the spectrum. You've been associated with Carmel swimming now for over 2 decades. If there was a thing, one piece of your journey with Carmel swimming that you were the most proud of, what would that be?
I'm just proud of the transformation that people go through the program. I mean, ultimately, the Olympics are nice. The gold medals are nice. The state championships are nice. But someone saying, hey, you changed my life, that's it, right?
And that's why you coach.
That's why I coach. I coach because I want to help people. Yeah. And helping people be the very best you can be. And how do you measure that? You get to measure that with time and competitiveness, but ultimately who they become is way more important.
Yeah. And I think that some people don't understand high school sports. They don't understand sport in general. It's just like a beautiful environment that like gives you adversity and struggle and success and victory and failure and all of these like great, but it's in a play setting.
Yeah.
Like it's not that, it is high stakes, but not that high stakes,
Right.
And it's like this great teacher, especially before you're, out in the world on your own, of like, oh, this is how I handle difficult situations that are kind of manufactured adversity, to then take that out in the world when life manufactures that adversity and throws it at you.
I agree. And I don't really think I truly appreciated that until I had my own children. And it was like, oh, my child's up all night, not feeling well, and I still have to go to work. Right? It's like, guess what? I have a tough practice and I got to go take this test. I think having gone through those moments helps you prepare to be an adult too and a parent.
Yeah. 39 state championships for the women. Let's hope, fingers crossed, you guys keep the streak alive in double that time. In 40 years, right? What do you hope the legacy that you leave behind with Carmel Swim is?
Man, I hope they say the success was unmatched, but who he helped people become was greater. That's what I hope they say.
We developed really good athletes, but we developed even better human
People.
beings.
That's what I hope they say.
The Chris Plumb auditorium, right? There you go, right?
Yeah, there's been jokes about that with the statues and stuff, but
I mean,
that's not happened yet.
Yeah, it comes with time. I think the rule is 50. I think it's 50 state championships in a row, and then it's like guaranteed. Like,
Okay.
I don't make the rules; I just enforce them. Right.
All right.
We've come to the end of the show. We have a couple fun segments here.
Okay.
A lot about Indiana and some other ones. So the first one's our Younger Years segment. This is brought to you by our friends at Orr Fellowship. They're a great organization here in Indiana helping develop young business leaders across the state. Chris, what advice would you give to your 22-year-old self?
Don't be afraid to do the work. Get your hands dirty. Do the things that you might think you're above, and just get in there and learn and do the things and dive in headfirst in whatever you're doing. And the second thing I would tell myself is just to truly value and invest in relationships with the people around you. You go to school, I took these classes, I got this grade. That's going to help me be successful. And it's important. But who you meet along the way, and like I would have gone back and probably the people older and my professors and teachers and coaches and spent more time having them teach me what I probably didn't want to hear at that time, right? So that would be
That's really good advice. I think when that like switch flips and you want to spend time with older, wiser, people just have different experiences. It actually is very, very impactful.
Yeah.
We've come to the lightning round. We have some fast-paced, fun questions for you here. So if it wasn't swimming, what Olympic event would you want to compete in?
Ooh, Olympic event. Well, good thing golf is now an Olympic event, because that's what I would choose today. I grew up, I was also a tennis player. So, I mean, they got tennis now. But like speed skating, I thought was the coolest thing. So I'd probably say speed skating.
I just had Quinn Durheimer. He is like a 15-year-old, basically prodigy speed skater. He's just crazy. He's like preparing to do the world trials and try to make it to the Olympics in speed skating. And he's like similar to the swimmers where he's like swimming or he's skating like 10 hours a day or something like that. It's crazy. I know Carmel gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Carmel gets a lot of hate. Not even just swimming, just like in general roundabouts, all 9 yards. What's a place people need to visit in Carmel that would change their perspective on the city?
The square where Sun King is and Fork and Ale, where the Monon meets. I mean, that little downtown area, it is just such a cool, unique place to hang out, grab a drink, grab some food, let your kids run around. And I love that space going down there because people are having a great time just hanging out in Carmel, and it is not pretentious at all.
Midtown
Carmel,
area.
Yeah,
that place is pretty. They put like cool stuff. Was there like an Olympic screening at that?
There was.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching Jake Mitchell in 21, and we put the Olympics on there and watched him swim. I mean, that was great.
That's pretty cool. I think it's the piece that just gets people a little bit on edge is like all the statues that are around there. It's just like, that's interesting. It's something for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of laughed at him at first, but like when you're walking around, you go, wow, this is just nice, and like it's just cool.
You mentioned a little bit. I think it might have been before we started recording, but who's the most inspiring swimmer of all time?
I mean, I think Mark Spitz was probably the most inspiring swimmer of all time, but my guy who I looked most up to was Pablo Morales, who won the 100 butterfly. Ended up not making the team in '84 and then went on to win gold in '88 or something something along those lines. But like anybody to me who didn't get something and then had to spend 4 more years in our sport when like you didn't know how to make a living that time was just a incredible mentor for me.
If you had to pin it all down to one race, what is the most memorable race you've watched?
I would have to say Jake Mitchell, 400 free, and this is kind of a deep story. In 2021, Jake Mitchell ended up getting second place in the trials, but he did not have a time to go fast enough to make it. He had to go this A standard, and he did not have the time. Ultimately, they said, we'll do a special time trial, and if Jake goes this time, he can go to the Olympics. So we're at the Olympic trials, 2021. They basically say to the crowd, it's in Omaha. If you want to stay, we're going to do this time trial. If not, you can go. So some people stay, some people go. But Jake walks out to this pool. There's one chair, there's one guy, and this is it to make the Olympic team. And if he goes this time, he makes it, and if he doesn't, he makes the Olympic team. So talk about pressure. Watching Jake make the Olympic team in that moment was, to me, the most memorable race I've ever seen and ever been a part of.
Racing against himself.
Racing against himself. So every 50 in a 400 is 8 laps, and every 50, they put your split up. And so, like, the crowd kind of knows what's going on, so he flips at the 100. They're like, oh, okay. And he flips at the 200, and everyone starts standing up and cheering. And at the 300, everyone goes like, this kid could actually make it. And everyone starts standing up and cheering, and everyone gets going. And when he touched the wall, the place erupts. And I ran down on the pool deck and gave him a big hug. And so, like, that was the first Olympic swimmer I've ever had. So to me, that was just an incredible, memorable experience, one that I won't ever forget.
Wow. That gives me like fired up a little bit.
It should. I have it on video, and this guy was filming from up above. I just see myself start jumping higher and higher as he's about to make it.
Legendary. These are the final 3 questions that we ask everyone who comes on the show. First one is, what is something the world needs to know about Indiana?
How great the people in Indiana are. The Hoosier hospitality, to me, is a real thing. Ever since I came here in 1993, I just felt like this was a home away from home initially for me, and now it is home. But like, just the people here are so great, and they're just down to earth, and they're just great people, and it's one of the reasons I came back.
This is a time where you get to shed some light on something that maybe doesn't get enough love, or more people need to check out. What is a hidden gem in Indiana?
I love the quarries down in Bloomington.
The quarries?
The quarries, yeah. You get to jump off the quarries and the towers in there. And the caves in Bloomington. Exploring around Bloomington is really cool and unique. I had the no trespassing signs, but in college you didn't do that.
You're I didn't see that, right?
Yeah, but if when you watch Breaking Away when they're jumping off the quarries, have you seen Breaking Away?
What's Breaking Away?
You need to watch Breaking Away. It is Dennis Quaid, and it's a movie about Little 500.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
They jump off the quarries there. I mean, that is a cool spot. And we went in the caves down there, and that is a super cool spot. That whole Hoosier National Forest, the cave system, it's just a beautiful part of the state of Indiana that I love going down to.
Great stuff. Final question is where you get to share the love with someone else who is doing some big things. And we find new guests and different opportunities there. And so who is a Hoosier that we need to keep on our radar? Someone who's doing big things.
Yeah. Peter Dunn, or Pete the Planner. Peter Dunn is my brother-in-law, and I've watched him, start out as a... He did sell me on whole life insurance.
He did. Yeah,
he was quite the salesman, and now he's created this whole financial wellness network, and just incredibly impressed with all that he's done.
He did sell me on whole life insurance.
That's how good a salesman he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and he's like, I've heard him speak a few times. He's so funny.
He is a funny guy.
He's relatable.
Yeah, he's very relatable. He's always cracking jokes. So anytime we get together as families, you better be on your game here with his wit.
Heck yeah, I love it. Pete the Planner, he needs to be a guest.
You need to get him on. He'd be great for your show.
I love it. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing about the legacy thus far of Carmel Swimming. I mean, from literally Olympians to helping people get their first dip a toe in the pool, right? I think that it's an incredible organization, the culture that you've built, and the clear pride you take in not only improving times, but in developing good human beings that are going to go out and do big things in society. I'm sure that hopefully lots of Carmel Swim alumni listen to this and think back to the ways that you impacted their life. I can clearly see that you've done that. It's so many athletes. You talk about 500 current athletes in the club, and more to come. So keep up all the great work. Keep representing Indiana on a global stage, from the Olympics to Worlds to swim trials to the World Cup that's coming to Carmel this October. And don't forget swimming lessons.
Yep.
At the Carmel Swim Club?
Carmel Swim Academy.
Yep. Don't forget about that. You can get your kids from 2 to adults if you're training for your Ironman and you need some extra help there. Make it happen.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more about Carmel Swimming?
Yeah, carmelswimclub.org. You can start there. You can find me on Instagram.
Yeah, there it is.
At CW Plumb. And my X handle right now is CSC swim coach.
Heck yeah. I love it. Thank you for all you do and keep up the hard work.
All right. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Get In. If you like what you heard, make sure you leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is made possible by our friends up at Sweetwater. Whether you're looking to start a podcast or take your content to the next level, click the link in the description to see all of my gear recommendations at sweetwater.com. If you want a behind-the-scenes look at everything we're doing across the state, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nate Spangle. Thank you so much for listening and being part of what makes the Hoosier State great. We'll see you next time here on Get In.